Hi there, this is Ali for Quizzical, back with another pub quiz for you. And as usual, it features 5 rounds of trivia-style questions, each round being on a different topic. That makes a total of 50 points available to you for this quiz. Why don't you grab a drink, settle back, and let the challenge begin. And our first round is travel. Anyone fancy a few quick trips? Question 1. What travel document grants permission to enter and stay in another country for a period of time? You need a visa, and the credit card probably also helps. Question 2. What is the busiest airport in the United Kingdom? And if you said Heathrow, London, you're 100% correct. Question 3. Of which coast of Australia will you be able to dive the Great Barrier Reef? Now, you don't have to be too specific. I'm mainly looking for the east or the west coast of Australia. Where will you find the reef? It's off the east coast, which happens to be the state of Queensland. Question 4. What elevation syndrome do you have to be prepared for when visiting Machu Picchu in Peru? You have to watch out for that altitude sickness. Question 5. The Chengdu Research Base is home to a well-known nursery for which endangered animal? I'd love to see these, especially in the wild. The giant panda. Question 6. Which popular travel country has the 3-letter airport code of SIN? That would be Singapore. Question 7. What is Japan's Shinkansen? Probably haven't said that right, but Shinkansen in Japan. It's the bullet train. Question 8. What is a long-distance walking route across northern Spain called? It's a bit of a pilgrimage. I would have liked to have done this when I was a bit younger. It's the El Camino, or the Camino de Santiago. Question 9. Which African nation would you need to visit if you wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro? Is in Tanzania. And question 10. What budget accommodation can travellers share a dormitory room? Popular with the young fellas and ladies. It is, of course, the good old backpacker hostel. Okay, keep track of your points out of 10. Round 2 is our sports round. Not my strongest area, but plenty of you, I'm sure, will do fine. Question 1. How many players on a standard football/soccer team are on the field? So how many players from each team? That would be 11. Question 2. In tennis, what name is given to a score of 0? Now I understand. Yeah, the word comes from the French word for egg. So there you go. Nothing to do with tennis. It's love, I think, because a 0 resembled an egg. Question 3. Which sport uses the terms strike, spare and gutter? If you're anything like me, you spend more time in the gutter than getting strikes. You would be 10-pin bowling. Question 4. Which NBA legend was known as Air Jordan? Bit of a flashback question. He had some sneakers named after him, I'm sure. It's Michael Jordan. Question 5. What coloured jersey does the leader wear in the Tour de France? I really need to look the significance of this one up. I'm not sure. It's an unusual colour. It's a yellow jersey. Let me know in the comments if you know why it's yellow. Question 6. Cortina d'Ampezzo and which other city are co-hosting the 2026 Winter Olympics? They shortened it to Cortina. It's Milan. Milano Cortina Games. Question 7. What is considered the national sport of Japan? You said sumo wrestling, you'd be right. Question 8. Who won the men's singles at the 2026 Australian Open? A relatively recent event. Who won? It was Carlos Alcaraz. He beat Djokovic. Question 9. What type of sporting event is the America's Cup? It's a yacht race. Question 10. Which NFL team won the 2026 Super Bowl? Again, very fresh event. And much to my brother-in-law's delight, the Seattle Seahawks won the 2026 Super Bowl. And our next round was a suggestion by one of our regular viewers, Team Harlow, famous artists and their art. Question 1, starting you off with an easy one. Leonardo da Vinci's portrait of a woman with an enigmatic smile is better known as what? Yep, it's the Mona Lisa. Speaking of, where will you find the Mona Lisa? In which museum is she housed? And that would be the Louvre in France or Paris. Question 3. Which artist painted The Starry Night in 1889? The Starry Night. It was painted by Vincent van Gogh or Van Gogh or Van Gogh. Question 4. The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel was painted by which Renaissance master? You said Michelangelo, you know your stuff. Question 5. Approximately how many years did it take Michelangelo to paint said Sistine Chapel? It was a bit of a labour of love. It took around 4 years. Question 6. Which Spanish artist is well known for painting The Persistence of Memory? Now that's the one with the melting clocks. It was Salvador Dali. And whilst we're speaking about The Persistence of Memory, what type of paint did Dali use to paint that? The common paint of the time, so not a tough question. It was painted using oil paint. Question 8. Guernica, a powerful anti-war painting, was painted by which artist? Guernica. It's a place in Spain. It was Pablo Picasso. Question 9. What is the name of Johann Vermeer's most recognised work? Girl with a Pearl Earring. And rounding up our art round, which famous French impressionist lived in Giverny? Couldn't have a round on art without Mr. Claude Monet. If you're enjoying this quiz, don't be shy. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. Round 4 is on weather. Question 1. Cirrus, cumulus and stratus are types of what? We heard these words in relation to weather. They are clouds. Question 2. Which layer of the atmosphere contains most of our weather? Which layer of the atmosphere does most of our weather occur? It's the troposphere. Question 3. What naturally occurring event is characterized by warmer Pacific temperatures leading to lower rainfall? It's an El Niño event. Question 4. What is the common name for the event where atmospheric water drops refract light? It's the beautiful rainbows. Question 5. What instrument measures atmospheric pressure? What instrument measures atmospheric pressure? Have you ever heard of a barometer? That's what it does. Question 6. What does the Fujita scale measure? The Fujita scale. And they measure tornadoes, or the destruction or the intensity of tornadoes. Question 7. What is the study of weather called? What is the study of weather? It is meteorology. Had to have an ology, right? Question 8. What are hurricane-like conditions called in Asia? What are hurricane-like conditions called in Asia? They don't call them hurricanes, they call them typhoons. Question 9. The deliberate human intervention in the Earth's climate is commonly referred to as what? It's a little bit of a controversial topic. It's known as geoengineering. Question 10. Which continent has recorded the lowest temperature ever recorded? It's Antarctica. And I hope the weather was kind to you in that round. You can't have a pub quiz without the good old general knowledge round. Round 5, a little bit of everything. Starting with question 1. In which nursery rhyme did the mouse run up the clock? Are you all listening to it in your heads or maybe out loud? It's of course Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Question 2. The royal title Maharaja originated on which continent? On which continent will you hear the word Maharaja? It's Asia. So it's an Indian word. Question 3. By definition, the word suffrage is the right to do what? Suffrage. You heard it a lot with regards to women, and it's the right to vote. Question 4. What colour are the petals of a dandelion flower typically? Dandelion flowers, what colour are they? They're yellow. Question 5. In which mountain range will you find the Arneto Peak? In which mountain range will you find the Arneto Peak? It's in the Pyrenees. Question 6. Which soccer club has won the most Spanish La Liga titles? Or should I say football club? Of course, it's Real Madrid. Question 7. Singer Charlotte Atchison is known by which stage name? Charlotte Atchison is known by which stage name? And if you said Charlie XCX, you're right. And question 8. Turbot is a family of which aquatic animal? Turbot. It is indeed a fish. And question 9. Tahiti is known for producing a black variety of which gemstone? I'm going to go there one day and get myself one. Fingers crossed. The black pearl, the Tahitian black pearl. Yes, please. Question 10. Dutch city The Hague is on the coast of which sea? On the coast of which sea? And if you said North Sea, you'd be correct. And that wraps up another quiz. Don't forget to let me know your score in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to my channel. Or you could watch either of these videos next. These things help my channel grow. And until next time, don't forget to get quizzical.